Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're gonna go live here in, I don't know. I should probably clean up all the things that are showing on my screen right now, shouldn't I? There we go. Hey, good morning. We're gonna get the show started here in about another minute. I'm running a scooch behind, but we'll be right back, I promise. All right, let's do it. It's time for the Morning aMEOWncements. Morning aMEOWncements on the Nightcap with Nightcat YouTube channel. This is the kitsch-minded morning show where we get you ready for the day. I am your host, Nightcat. Thank you so much for being here. We've got a great show. Happy Cinco de Mayo, folks. I'm very happy to be celebrating Cinco de Mayo with you. Let's talk about what's coming up on the show. JVN, Jonathan Van Ness, his husband got his green card. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to give you updates on the people who stole Lady Gaga's dogs and shot her dog walker. And then we're going to get into the book of useless information, and I am going to tell you about some of the strangest celebrity phobias and how they affected their acting roles. But before we get into any of that, it is Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I thought it would be fun to talk about because I've been seeing like infographs and videos a lot in the last couple of years about what Cinco de Mayo is. So I thought it would be fun to just sort of go over it real quick because there's a big misconception. The first one being that Cinco de Mayo is like 4th of July for Mexicans, like it's their Independence Day. It is not their Independence Day. Cinco de Mayo is actually a celebration of Mexican heritage. So it's actually much bigger here in the US. We celebrate it huge here. It's actually a celebration of the Battle of Puebla, in which the Mexicans beat the French and were able to keep their, land and their army strong in 1862. So it goes back a long, long time. But that was May 5th, 1862, and ever since then, that's why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo, is celebrate the French losing again. The French can't stop losing, though we would have lost the American Revolution without them, so let's not trash them too hard. Just a reminder that Mexican heritage has played a huge role in shaping how America is today, and we wouldn't honestly be anything without our friends to the south. So happy Cinco de Mayo, and also this would be a really great time if America really wanted to celebrate Cinco de Mayo hard, to empty the concentration camps full of children. I don't think that's a whole lot to ask for. Happy Cinco de Mayo, no more child prisoners. All right, then let's get going into the Morning Mews. The Morning Mews is the part of the show where I go over the top pop culture headlines so you don't feel left behind. You got stuff to talk about when you get to work and school. And I want to get started with Jonathan Van Ness. Jonathan Van Ness, Queer Eye star, also... If you've never seen Game of Thrones, he did this recap series long before he was on Queer Eye on YouTube, where he recapped every Game of Thrones episode while he cut someone's hair, and he called it Game of Thrones. It was hilarious. But Jonathan Van Ness, he And his husband got huge news yesterday. His husband received his green card. He can now stay in the United States. So if you don't know, his husband is a Londoner. He's from England. And they met while Jonathan Van Ness was on a comedy tour. And they surprised everyone on New Year's Eve by dropping that they had been married earlier last year. So they got secret married a while ago and just announced their marriage. Well, there's no fear of him getting deported or them not being able to stay together because he is now an American citizen. Very exciting news. I love it because in the Instagram post that Jonathan Van Ness posted, he talks about how 6 years ago, these two wouldn't even have been able to get married, let alone, file all the citizenship paperwork and stay together here in the United States. That's a big deal. It wasn't even 6 years ago. It was like 5 and 3/4 years ago that it was still illegal for these two people to get married. So very exciting news. Congratulations to the happy couple. And you know how much love makes me just bleh. So that's a big deal. All right, Paris Hilton. Ugh, I love her. So we all know this Paris Hilton shirt, right? It's been circulating the internet forever, where she's up at the club, her arms are in the air. Stop being poor. That's been around forever. Well, she took to TikTok to clarify some things. I think it was Monday that she did this. But she goes, this shirt that you always see me wearing? That was photoshopped. I never wore a shirt that said stop being poor. And then she showed pictures of the shirt and it actually says stop being desperate, but somebody had photoshopped it out and said poor. She says the moral of the story is don't believe everything you read on the internet. Now this is like rewriting American history as far as I'm concerned. How could you? I know this is iconic. But honestly, I'm glad to hear that she's not, I'm sure she's elitist a little bit, but not as much as we all pinned her down for on The Simple Life. Also, she's been speaking up a lot lately. I don't know what's going on, but I'm loving this new energy from Paris Hilton. She's been to Utah 4 or 5 times in the last 6 months to come and protest and speak on Capitol Hill about the mistreatment of her and multiple other students. And when I say mistreatment, I mean straight up abuse by the Provo Canyon School. There are private schools and youth rehab facilities sprinkled all over Utah. Not a whole lot of people checking in on them, and there have been stories of abuse. Paris Hilton came out and talked about what happened to her at these schools and is begging for these kind of places to be shut down. So, I don't know what's going on with her, but I like it. She is so spicy. It's very good. All right, rumors have been flying for a little while that Andrew Garfield will be putting on the red and blue spandex once again. And here's the thing, he's my favorite Spider-Man, so I've been very excited about this. To play in the upcoming 3rd Spider-Man movie, the 3rd Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. And I feel like these rumors really intensified after The Flash announced, on the DC side of things, The Flash announced that they were going to be inviting all of the old Batmans in. Because The Flash can run so fast, apparently he can transcend time and, different universes. He can go to parallel timelines. So the idea is that he's going to go through all these different timelines and universes and meet all the different Batmans in the Flash movie. Well, ever since that dropped, the rumors of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire coming back for the 3rd Spider-Man have just been flying like crazy. They've caught wildfire as far as I'm concerned. Well, Andrew Garfield was on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast when he got asked that question, and he finally broke his silence because they've all been very quiet about it, which is, again, only adding fuel to the fire here. And they were like, so are you gonna be in the new movie? And Andrew Garfield was like, look, I don't know where this keeps coming from. I haven't heard anything. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna jinx it. But what I'm saying is, if that was gonna happen, I would have gotten a call by now. I have not gotten a call. So that doesn't mean that it won't happen, and maybe he's just being quiet and coy because look at that little face. You know he's hiding secrets. But I'm guessing probably not. Probably not going to get an Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, which is ridiculous because, again, Andrew Garfield, #1 Spider-Man. What a great Spider-Man. Love that guy. And finally, we got to talk about the people who stole Lady Gaga's dogs because we're finally getting some details about it. So if you don't remember, a few months ago, Lady Gaga, or I guess it wasn't even a few months ago, a few weeks ago, Lady Gaga was walking, or I'm sorry, not her. her dog walker, his name is Ryan. Ryan was walking Lady Gaga's 2 French bulldogs when 3 men hopped out of a car, shot Ryan, and stole the dogs, took off with them. So the dogs got dog-napped. The dogs returned a few days later. They showed up at a police station. A woman says that she had found them tied to a street pole and that she was turning them in. Okay, so here's the thing. 5 people have now been arrested for the crime, for the dog napping and the shooting. The 3 are the 3 guys who actually did it. The 4th is one of these 3 guys' dads. And the 5th is the woman who turned the dogs into the police, because it turns out she didn't find them tied to a street pole, even though early in the investigation, police said that she didn't seem like she was a suspect. Like, it genuinely seemed like she just sort of stumbled upon the dogs. She is the girlfriend of the dad, and I guess what happened is the 3 of them went out, they dog napped. None of them had a clue that they were Lady Gaga's dogs. They were just up to some, waywardness. So they get the dogs, they shoot the guy, they go back home, they realize what they've done and how much trouble they're in. Because listen, you shoot a poor person and take their dogs, are we gonna track you down that hard? Probably not. But if you're Lady Gaga and you shoot her dog walker and you take her dogs, bro, you're in trouble. People are gonna do something because she's rich. So, the 3 boys went to the one guy's dad, and they were like, look, man, we did it. These are the dogs. And the guy's dad was just so afraid of his son going to jail, that he decided to have his girlfriend take the dogs in and try to keep the boys far away from it, as removed as possible. But clearly that did not work out. They are all due in court May 11th, which is next week. So I'm sure we're going to be having some hot updates from this dog drama. This is like one of the craziest stories ever. I cannot believe it. Oh, there we go. I gave you a lot of Andrew Garfield just now. You're welcome. And that is the Morning Mews. All right. I think it's time then for us to talk real quick about the Patreon. Patreon.com/nightcatshow. This is an awesome way for you to help support the show. This is like the #1 way, other than watching and downloading, which thank you so much for doing that. You've been doing it very, very aggressively, and I appreciate that. But the best way to support the show is through our Patreon. It's a service where you can donate a small amount every month to keep your favorite shows on the air, to keep your favorite artists independent. I'd really like to be able to keep doing this for a long time. I'm still applying for jobs. I've been unemployed for like 2.5 months, and I still haven't gotten a job yet. And I've gotten 1 interview, so it's going great. But this is how I'm doing it. Patreon. Patreon.com/nightcatshow. If you have $3 or $5 or even more, I'm not going to ask for more. But if you have it to spare and you want to give it to me, I certainly would put it to good use. Thank you so much to our patrons. I know a lot of our patrons are watching right now. Thank you so much for your continued support. I really, really, really appreciate it. Patreon.com/nightcatshow. Go check it out. And also, check out the link tree in the description of this video to find the waiting list for the Nightcat True Crime Walking Tours. These walking tours have been so much fun. We've just been walking around the city, and I've been telling people about the cool, historical, crazy crimes that have happened right here in Salt Lake. And, I would like to, again, make this something that we do regularly, and a way that we can keep expanding the show and expanding the Nightcat brand is through these tours. So I don't have any more. The tickets are pretty much sold out for the Thursday and Friday show. Those are the last 2 test shows. Then I'm going to take all the information I've learned, I'm going to rework it, and then I'm going to post more dates and get a real good solid plan, because ideally I'll be able to do these throughout the entire summer. So, Nightcat True Crime Walking Tours, check out the link tree, linktr.ee/JacksonWitt. In the description of this video, it'll take you not only to the True Crime Walking Tour waiting list, it will also take you to the Patreon and all of our social media and everything else. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Hey, go like this video, okay? Let's check in on the chat, see how everybody's doing. Good morning, Katie. Good morning, Zizor. Doggone T, how are you, dear? Mindy, happy Cinco de Mayo to you. Marissa, good morning. Lindy, hey. Erica, good morning, darling. Oh, and happy hump day. It is Cinco de Mayo and it's hump day. I think it's time to start partying. I mean, why not? Let's crack open a Corona. It's only what? It's not even 8 yet. It's 7:15. Why not start the day with a Corona? Happy Cinco de Mayo. Good morning, Emmanuel. Good morning, Sadie. Good morning, Nathan. Oh, I know, Marissa. I also love the dog drama. Listen, I gotta tell you, I know I do a lot of animal stories on this show, particularly stories about raccoons and alligators, because they're like my 2 favorite animals. But you're lucky that I am not constantly posting more animal news. Like, I have to search. I have to go out of my way because my timeline is just full of animal news and science facts and like weird cool sharks and stuff. And I have to go out of my way to find news about people so that I'm not just telling you all this animal news. But who knows? Maybe we'll start doing like a Wild Wednesday where all we do is animal news. Animal news. Oh, dang it. That's a good idea. All right, hold on. I'm going to write that down. Wild Wednesday. I'm glad that's why we do this, quite frankly. This is why we have these brainstorming sessions. This is why we sit down, we spitball, we plan the show. Luckily, I'm not doing a show right now. This is all just this is a planning meeting. Haha, I tricked you into another Zoom meeting. Sucks to suck. All right. Good morning. It's good to see y'all. I'm so happy that you're here. All right, I think it's time then for us, there we go, to get into the book of useless information. The book of useless information. This is a little bathroom reader that I found at the thrift store a while ago. And it's just chock full of some really fun, interesting, crazy facts. And I like this one because it's all about celebrity phobias. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about a few of these. Number 1, arachnophobia. We know, acrophobia. Acrophobia. It's not arachnophobia. Though that is hilarious considering it's about Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Acrophobia is the fear of heights, and Spider-Man's Tobey Maguire was severely terrified of heights. But in the Spider-Man movies, he had to get over it real fast and managed to power through. Obviously, they weren't like doing all those stunts on a big building, but let me tell you, as someone who is also truly, honestly horrified of heights, I don't want to be strapped into a belt and flung across a soundstage either. I don't care if it's like a foot off the ground and it's all on green screen. It's still scary. My feet are not on the ground. I'm terrified. That's pretty much how this works. All right. Ataxophobia. Ataxophobia is the fear of disorder. And I've known people like this, and it's like a serious, serious thing. Soccer pro David Beckham likes having things in order. He likes things that are matching, and he likes things that are even numbered. And he's like obsessive about it. His wife Victoria told People magazine, if there are 3 cans of Diet Coke, he'll throw 1 away rather than having 3 because it's uneven. Just throw it away. Just throwing away cans of perfectly good cans of Diet Coke. Ridiculous. That's ataxophobia. That's not, I don't know, man. I feel like all of us have this to a degree. Like, if I'm in a dirty house, I can't relax. Like, I have to get up, even if I'm exhausted. If my house is too messy, I have to get up. I'm like, I've got to take some of these cups down from my room. There shouldn't be this many dishes in my room because I literally just cannot relax. But having it so bad that you have to have your Coke cans in even numbers, ridiculous. Do you have a taxophobia? Tell me in the live chat if you have a taxophobia about anything. Like, is there anything that you're really particular about? Is there anything that you're worried about being out of order? All right, colorophobia. Obviously, I think we know what this one is. It's the fear of clowns. Colorophobia. Though he's a natural-born entertainer, you're not likely to find actor Johnny Depp anywhere near a circus. He doesn't like clowns. Something must have happened to me when I was a kid, he told Entertainment Weekly. What did that clown do to Johnny Depp? And by that clown, I mean Amber Heard. And by what, I mean I already know she pooped in his bed. I can't get over the story. I'm sorry. Every time I see Johnny Depp, I'm like, Amber Heard pooped in your bed. She pooped in his bed. It was ridiculous. All right. This is a coimet. I googled this very specifically because I couldn't pronounce it. Coimetrophobia. Coimetrophobia. Yep. Coimetro phobia. Coimetrophobia. is the fear of graveyards. I didn't realize that they were getting so specific. But, like, it's not the fear of death or the fear of like being around dead things. It's very specifically the fear of being in a graveyard or a cemetery. And you know who has it real bad? A woman who spent a lot of her career in a cemetery, Buffy the Vampire Slayer's Sarah Michelle Gellar. I guess that she had it so bad that they were gonna film at a cemetery, and for like because obviously they go to the cemetery to have all the vampire fights. They were gonna go film all of that stuff at a real cemetery, but she requested that they build a cemetery because she didn't want to go to a real one where there are a bunch of just, you know, dead people under her. So they built it, and I'm glad they did, because the cemetery set on Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of my favorites. It's gorgeous. And in fact, Allison Hannigan, who plays Lily in How I Met Your Mother, she was also Willow in Buffy, she talks about how she stole a bunch of the set pieces from that cemetery, and she puts them out for Halloween every year. Isn't that cute? I love it. And that is the book of useless information. I love stuffing my head full of useless information, and now I love stuffing your head full of useless information, whether you want it or not. Bam! All right. Check in one more time with the chat, see how everyone's doing. Okay, well, the consensus is clear. We want more animal news. All right, I will write that down as well. I like Wild Wednesday. We're going to do Wild Wednesday. Animal news on Wednesdays. Perfect. Oh, yeah, Erica. Erica and Zizor, you both put the same thing. The volume. People are obsessed with, like, the volume. My brother was the same way. I once turned it to 23, and you would have thought that I had hit a dog in front of him. He was so offended. I'm like, who cares, man? 23 is fine. No, apparently 23 was the exact opposite of fine as far as he was concerned. All right, I think that's gonna do it for me. We talked about celebrity phobias in the book of useless information. We talked about our Patreon. We went through the Morning Mews, talked about Gaga's dog nappers. Oh, that's just so sad and terrible. I hope those people get put in jail for a while. And we gave you the full down low on Cinco de Mayo. Well, not the full. It was very much a highlight on what Cinco de Mayo is, but just a clarifier of Cinco de Mayo. Hey, go out, greet the day, greet the sun, have the day that you deserve. We stopped telling people to have a good day. I hope you have the day that you deserve. If you deserve to have a good day because you're a good person, then I hope you go out and have yourself a good day. But if you've been acting up, karma will sort that out for you. I'm going to turn it over to the fish. Here are your 3 minutes of fish. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.